Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the West East podcast. My name is Amanda, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Dr. Art. Hi, Dr. Art.
Hi Amy,
How are you doing?
I'm good. So what we are discussing today?
Well, if you remember, just a couple episodes back, we did have an episode titled "Be Real." Folks, pause here
Hmm.
and go back to the previous episode if you are not up to date. But in that episode, we talked about uh, and well, sorry, by we talked about, I mean right at the end, I kind of bombarded you with an article that I read that we didn't have time to discuss. So I think we should take time and talk about uh, this concept of authenticity and being real when it comes to AI specifically,
Hmm.
and get into this article. Are you up for it?
Yep.
Awesome. I know that AI is, oh gosh, a really hot topic. We're not really going to comment on the existence, I guess, of AI. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit, but I really think we should focus on the interaction that AI has with classic texts and historical texts, foundational cultural texts such as the Bhagavad Gita, which is what this article gets into.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So,
So I
uh,
went through the article. I have
yeah.
read about it. So I am aware what you are talking about.
Can you? You're really good at giving a summary, and you'll probably pronounce the author's name better than me. Do you want to start us off? And we'll link it for
It's
everybody
a
in the description.
yeah. So a specific company approached Gurucharan Das, who is a very famous writer, to adapt his voice in like cloning his voice for a interactive book about Gita.
Uh,
So this we are what we are going to discuss is what he went through, what he reflected, what he did, and what he came up with it. I don't know if it has yet come to that book. Is still like it's it real or not? But this is the article like solely about.
I think the article was pretty recent, so like recent as in within
They
the
are
last
still
year or
thinking about
so.
it. Yes.
Yes, yeah, so nothing's come to fruition, but one of the things the article talks about was that this would be an AI tool that would help people to engage with the Bhagavad Gita, and almost like imagine you could have a conversation with AI to learn more about the text itself, and they were going to accomplish this, like the research portion or
Yeah.
the data bank, if you will, was going to come from a series of interviews they wanted to do with Mr.
And
Das.
the answers an answer will be in the voice of Mr. Gurucharan Das ji.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that way they can that is how he, because he is already written a very good book, I think difficult of being good, which is based on a very epic Mahabharata. So that's why he was the person who was chosen for the this article this sorry interactive book also.
And I think that, so I haven't, I think you bought a copy of his book, right? I haven't yet. I have to
Yeah, I
get
have
it.
just finished first chapter. I haven't fully finished, but it's very interesting.
Uh, I mean, interesting enough that he was approached by this company. I don't think it was random, but one of the things that stuck out for me right away was the imposter syndrome he felt, that he immediately
Yeah,
doubted himself as being the most qualified to speak on this text.
yeah.
He didn't. He's not putting Bhagavad Gita on some pedestal that nobody can discuss it, but he does say that he had a conversation with his wife where he said, you know, why me? You could go to scholars
Yeah.
who right who are
Who
studied
and
and
him being agnostic, he was like, I am not the right person. I don't 100%
yeah,
believe in what is said in or what is there in Gita, but
yeah,
I still I want a person who has a lot of passion towards Gita, explain it. The
yes.
scholars and all who knows it better as per him.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think it was his wife who kind of
said that her perception was totally different, that this is
yes.
once in a lifetime opportunity, that in your later age, like he's I think in a I don't know his exact age, but he is in an age where we call it vanaprasthashram. So where he needs to reflect spiritually, and he needs to uh, that is whole that whole phase of life in this. You have to think about your spiritual connection, or your like if you believe in God, then connection to God. So that's why
Okay.
he's like, this is the right phase in your life, that you have so incredible opportunity, that you can go through, learn, and reflect on, Gita. I think this is a very good opportunity has fallen into your lap, and you should take it.
Ah, um, uh, and I agree. I'm reacting like I'm hearing her say this, that like, oh yes, did she say that? But I remember that part,
So
and
I
I
have
agree
that
with that
habit, when
point.
I read something, I it plays in my mind as a like a
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain
like a
it.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah, like a movie.
yeah. Uh,
So this was
on that,
my version of this was
yeah.
my version of her convincing him.
Yes, yes, and you very well played, very well played. I will you would be cast in the role of his wife in the movie. Um, but she does make some good points, and I mean the article's well written in the sense that like it gives it gives both perspectives. He has the self doubt, but she kind of helps him to understand. So he, in the article, is like taking on this task, and he, we can start to get into the AI component as well, because AI isn't just the goal, right, of the interviews
Yeah.
and the final product. He actually used AI to do a lot of the research. And so, folks, to
He used
prepare for
three
this
AI
episode,
tools. So
yes,
he
he
used
used
Chat
AI
GPT
tools.
for some emotional this thing,
Yeah.
emotional part of it. Then Claude for the compiling or something, and I
Yeah.
think I forgot the Propexis. I forgot the third tool. I don't remember the third tool.
I don't know if I
It
have
was
them.
Perplexity
Perplexity.
or
Yeah,
that is
and
for
he also used
research.
Gemini. He also used Gemini as
Gemini.
well.
Gemini was a
Uh,
backup for. I think he
yes.
was like, it's a backup
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah. Um. But uh, I think that his insights, and by the way, folks, to prepare for this episode, we did uh, Dr. Art and I read the article and thought of some questions to ask each other, and this is how we're kind of going to connect it back to the conversation of authenticity. Uh, but in we can start it here. I really liked what he talked about in terms of the pros and cons. That this is the part of the article where we sort of take the turn from understanding if he's qualified for the job to hearing his opinions and reflections of the pros and cons of AI itself. Um, he said it was very powerful, it was very practical, it could accomplish very difficult tasks. But one of the things that stuck out for me was there was a lack of authenticity for him when he reflected on the conclusions it drew, because he didn't feel like it came from him. Sure, he was giving the prompts and he was, I guess, in the
He was the
driver's seat,
brain behind it, but he was
but
not
not
the
the heart.
writer who thought it and who wrote it about it, I think.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. 100%. So, uh, I think I'm going to pivot to my first question for you from there, which was AI was proven to be great at research, but it felt empty. So, oh man, I'm diving right in deep, but why not? I've heard the comment many times since I was young that our generation and the generations younger than us are somewhat desensitized. We don't react the same way to certain things. You know, there's all these video games that are so violent, and I'm not saying I agree with the critique. I'm just telling you what the critique is. But
Hmm.
with the introduction of AI, uh, do you see that sort of 10xing this approach of being desensitized? You have a tool that is going to do difficult tasks for you, um, does that take away something from our generation and really the generations younger than us that will probably use this at much greater capacity?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand on that? Because it kind of relates to being real, right? If I farm the land myself, I'll feel more reward from the vegetables, right? That it bears and that I eat, as opposed to if I just go to the grocery store. To me, AI sort of seems like the same function in a different way. Do you agree, disagree? What's your take on that, and how it connects to like us being sort of like seen as desensitized?
So, what I feel, like what I think about your question is, I definitely think that it is going to impact us, because we have a human brain which is very complex, and it has a lot of capacity. If we don't use that muscle, then there might be a chance that that muscle might get not be so much, exercised. So for that, I'll give you example. Like when we were in school, we used to do sum by counting on paper, right?
Yep.
Then came the computer. Sorry, then came the calculator. Then came mobile. So earlier we used to have. I used to have a phone dictionary where I used to handwrite all the numbers, and I had all the numbers in my head. Nowadays, people don't know their own number, or they do their spouse's number, or their parents number, because it is there in the phone. So definitely it's going to impact, but sometimes with time only the solution comes. Maybe there will be a time when they realize and they'll just use AI as a tool and start using. It can be a breakthrough where the realization come in the human, that we need to use our brain more than in just giving it to AI. This can be
Mhm.
that breakthrough also. Like, I'm being optimistic, I don't know.
Yeah, I like that you're optimistic, because I think it's
We have
easy
to
not to be
be.
optimistic. Yeah, with everything that we're seeing. Um,
I
for
know.
me, I feel like there's a importance that
Like, I'm
needs to
not
be
saying this
placed
will
on
happen
the
overnight,
yeah.
but there is a chance that it might happen.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, I think a big importance should be placed on meaning. Like when I say desensitize, I don't just mean it's like we're not using our
Yeah,
working
yeah,
memory or something.
yeah.
Think about how much was lost when we started texting instead of having, face-to-face conversations,
Calling,
or
yes, yes, yes. I
yeah,
understand that. Like
yeah.
earlier, we
So
used to play outside with the friends. Nowadays, we just hang out. That also, as an adult, as a kids, they are mostly on the tablet and playing
yeah,
online. They are playing online with each other.
yes, yeah.
So I think from that point of view also, like, yeah, it will be, because human touch is missing in that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Like, I
But
still remember playing board games with my brother and my parents. We used to play caroms, so it was a fun time for me. Yeah, like, it was a physical spend time with family. Nowadays there are still there are people who are coming back to it, but yeah, with AI and with computers and all, it is becoming more uh, like very choice based action, I think.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, or it's certainly being promoted to be online, to use AI to, and I'm not going to say an opinion either way, but I am going to say that we have to be very careful. uh,
Yeah.
uh, and I think that I really liked that Mr. Doss was conscious of that piece of it when he was doing the research and reflecting on the pros and cons and the benefit of the pedagogy he saw versus the
Hmm.
reality of doing that research. So
Yeah.
yeah, he was grateful for the practical benefits, um, but concerned about authenticity. That's the one of the highlights that I had
Yeah.
as well.
So
But yeah, in reflecting on the article, what are some insights that you had, or any questions you have as well?
so I when I read the article, the base of it was like when he was thinking about his clone speaking through interacting through book. He was like, he felt like a authenticity problem, and that itself is the essence of Gita also, like who am I. As per
Yes.
Gita, it's like we all are living in an illusionary world called Maya, and we have our true self, which is observing, that is true awareness, which is observing anything, which is not neither our anxiety or nor our joy. It's the purest part of our awareness, which is connected to the universe, cosmic awareness. So that deep of thinking he had. And with AI, he was like, human brain is so complex that we cannot expect AI to understand that complexity, because we are living life. It's a lived experience, and AI can like gather information or interpret data, or it can explain the Gita, but it cannot the AI cannot have the experience of Gita.
Yeah.
Like for that, my question was, they thought about digital Krishna also. One of the thing I read was digital Krishna, decision support system. So where you ask questions, and there they have a like as a Krishna, they will answer your query. Like we live in a world where we are scared to be judged, or so much we will rather ask our phone than friend or family, or anyone else. We feel certain way comfortable to a therapist rather than our family member, because we have a fear of being judged. So the confused individual, or the this is an app where Krishna will guide you to your decision making. What do you think about that?
I think it kind of positions God more like a fortune teller than like the observer, right? Krishna's kind of the observer, um, and I guess Arjuna asks him a lot of questions. He's questioning
Questions, yeah.
everything,
So
right?
that was
So
the concept, that
yeah,
Arjuna asked him question and he replied, and that's how the Gita
yeah.
was conversation was there. So that way, like, you can be Arjuna and the app can be
Mm.
Krishna.
So yeah, I guess uh I don't know. I see a couple of things in there. It could be good depending on the question. Like um that sort of asks the reader, it encourages the reader to engage with the text and think critically. If that's what it's doing, then maybe it'll give some good questions to Krishna. But um, my only question is, where are they getting the answers from? Because we don't know Krishna's answers because we've read Gita,
So
but we
they will
never saw
incorporate
we
Gita or something as a software
yeah.
and then put it, I think.
So if I guess like if it becomes a way of being able to, I guess that's like similar to how Catholics will tell you that every answer to every question is in the Bible, right? So that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you hold up a Bible and ask a question and like a magic 8 ball it shows an answer. It means that by engaging with the text and thinking critically and understanding the lessons of what it's teaching you, that you can find pretty much the answer to every question in there. That's my interpretation. If that's what it's going to do for Gita, in the same way, but it's kind of taking a more interactive approach. It would remove a bit of the engaging with the text directly and doing that research yourself. But as long as AI is not trying to tell you they know what Krishna thinks, then uh, I think
No
that
one
could be
knows.
right. Nobody knows, but I think that could be a, a really interesting way. Like I hate that word. I don't like it when people say it's so interesting. I feel like it's so pretentious, but I feel like it could be a really encouraging
Yeah.
way of connecting with the text, right? And
But
and
somewhere
yeah.
down the line, I feel that if the software generation generator people are, their intent is like, if someone is, I don't know if I'm right saying this, but if someone is emotionally troubled, or someone is emotionally not in a decision making, and then they read the text and they interpret it in their own way, because interpretation is it's based on individuals. Like I'll say that you look beautiful, but if it, you will interpret this sentence as like in our relation. Like if you are very close to me, you will think, oh, she is complimenting me. But if we don't get along, you will think that I might be, sarcastically saying it, or I am. It's totally on the interpretation of a person. So I am a little bit scared about if a naive person, or if a confused person takes it in a wrong interpretation and land up doing something wrong. There, who will be the responsible for that action, or who will be
Yeah.
questioned for that understanding? Because nowadays, if you see all the apps, all the big this thing, they make us sign all the, they are not responsible for anything. Whatever you do, you are on your own. We are here just to provide you the services. So I feel, let it be the sculpture, put a app, that's okay, but we should be also aware how to use it about it, or we should guide our generation also that how to go about it, I think.
Yeah, and I think that it's so we'll get into like our final question so that we otherwise see we could even do part 2 and 3 of this episode. It's a really good conversation
Yeah.
because what you're talking about is leads my mind in another direction by having this tool. Let's say somebody wants to skip a few steps. They're not going to read the Bhagavad Gita. They're just going to use this tool, right? And they're just going to start asking questions. Um, in the wrong hands, uh, if let's say we lose the copies of the Gita, or they become few and far in between, uh, and this tool replaces it, and it's not with the right intent, or maybe people just it gets away from them somehow with the tool and the data collection and how they reuse it and reproduce it and whatever, and we might end up with a totally different version and interpretation
Version
of the
of
Gita that's so
interpretation. Yeah.
far, yeah, and who's feeding that, right? So um,
And
maybe that's just
nowadays no
good
one,
food for thought.
yeah, nowadays
Yeah.
no one checks the source. If something goes viral, they believe it's truth. Like
Yeah.
social media has its own
Oh, yes.
I don't know how to say, authenticity, who says that, oh, if it is gone viral, it is true.
Well, yeah, and not to mention there's so many, oh my gosh, there's so many different things, like all of those memes where someone puts a picture and a quote, but the quote doesn't belong to the person in the picture at all. Like there's no way that that
Yeah.
person could have said that. It's a very famous quote from somebody else, but it's just like to throw people off. Um,
Yeah.
I think these are good things for people to reflect on, and I really hope that we can start a conversation in chat about this. So, if you're listening to this or watching this, please leave a comment for us on what you think about a tool like this, and if it will be used responsibly, if it will continue to have meaning. My last question for you, Dr. Art, for today is, and this was the first question that came up in my brain, what part of your of your essence of who you are do you think could never be replicated by any AI, any virtual environment? What part of Dr. Art could never be replicated? It could be a feature, like a personality trait, or I don't want to give it away. Anything. What do you think?
So, see, there is always you being you. That is a, what do you say, uniqueness is there. But your individual doesn't itself or herself or himself doesn't know 100% about themselves. Like I 100% don't know who am I am also searching, seeking. So it's definitely, I am also peeling the layers. So definitely AI cannot, replicate the unknown, which I don't
I,
know.
I like that. If you're still discovering, then how will AI find it? You haven't found it
Like
yet.
you say that you know yourself, but it
Yeah,
depends on your mood, depends on your circumstances, depend on your surrounding, depend on your day, what
yeah,
you are going through, or what you are thinking at that time. The interpretation varies. So
yeah.
human mind is so complex that it is, you can collect the data, you can analyze it, but you cannot replicate it. That's what I think. that there
Yeah.
will be no you are individual, I am individual, other than like if you have your next generation, there will be part of your DNA in that, but otherwise I don't think it can be replicated. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I
100%
agree. Yeah.
replicated.
Yeah. And then I think it's important to that's a beautiful way to end this episode. I don't even have anything to add other than to say that I think it's really important in this sea of virtual reality and AI and all of this innovation, that's what they keep calling it, happening so quickly, uh, that to remember to like continue to check in with who you are, make sure that you know what I mean, you're not lost, don't be taken away by that tide, and don't get lost in that sea of uh I don't know, I guess you could say, or open AI, or all of these like level two Claude bots and um, vibe coding and all of those. I'm hitting all the buzzwords, so YouTube boost the algorithm, right? No, I'm just kidding. These are the things that I've started to look into
Use AI
and
as a
learn
tool,
about.
informative tool, or the assistant, rather than replace the as a human consciousness. I don't think
Yeah,
it is there yet.
yeah, 100%. And don't lose those really important skills like uh, thinking critically, reading a text, and uh, like even your working memory. I love that you started with that, because
Yeah.
every so often I will go through phone numbers in my contacts list, and try to remember them, memorize them. I think I still know my full address from when I was a child, and our home phone number, and my grandmother's phone number, because it was ingrained in me. My parents were like, you need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know this. If you ever get lost, if you ever need to call us, you need to know, right? You need to have the identifying information. So it's good for your brain health.
So having facility is good, but I just use it as an example. But use your brain more often than give
Yeah,
your brain some challenges as per your liking. It's make your life easier, make your work easier, but there should be something given to your brain which should challenge your thinking, challenge your complexity, or the interactive power of your brain.
100%, 100%. And I think that thank you, Dr. Art, for this conversation, because I think that a huge disservice that we could do to ourselves is to be too afraid of AI to look into it or to talk about it, or like it's here. Um, so we have to
We
engage
cannot
with it and
escape it.
understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that balance, not losing yourself in it and not being afraid to both look into it and learn about AI, and then continue to learn about yourself and uh, think about think about those questions like, okay, what part of me couldn't be replicated? Because that brings the question, who am I? These are all super important parts. So who knows? Maybe we'll pick up this conversation if we find another article or we want to talk about just
Sure.
AI. uh, but I think this was a nice part two to this conversation. And folks, like we said, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. We'd love to have a conversation about this. We will be back next week for another episode. I think we'll take a lighter topic and a lighter tone, and maybe go for some laughs next time. Are you up for it, Dr. Art?
Yeah. 100%.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, for now, we will say bye, everybody. Have a great week. This is all from Amanda and Dr. Art at the West East podcast. Say bye, Dr. Art.
Bye bye.
Bye
For
bye.
my city, 3 for my city, 4 for my city. No, I'm the one who'd go to war for my city. 5 for my city, 6 is my city. Holla at me if y'all vibe with my city. Come try on my city, don't you lie in my city. Symbol the truth, I'll fight for my city.
The West East podcast is part of the We campaign, also known as Anti-East Indian Hate Campaign by Viragya Entertainment. You can weigh in on the conversation in the meantime in our comments section or on our social media. You can also visit www.imshivam.net/w.e. Remember, Vasudev Kutumbakam. We are all one family. Until next time.